We made it! We made it through the term! Unfortunately my moustache didn't, but I am very glad to see the back of it. The before and after picture, it's just like I've lost 10 years in age and about 5 levels of creepiness. And I know some people in the comment section seem to like it, but oh no, I am very glad that it's gone. Now I apologise that this video is a day late. The reason for that is that yesterday, I should clarify, I'm helping out with interviews at the moment, so I'm doing a couple of hours of showing people around, showing them to their room, showing them to interviews, stuff like that. And I'd allocated some time to film this. And I sat down and I talked to the camera for about 20 minutes about what's been going on. Got up to check the footage and turns out I didn't turn the camera on. So that was slightly disheartening, but I'm doing this now. So 8th week, I'd handed in all my work, I only had 2 classes and a couple of lectures to go to, and then term was finished. And as a consequence, 8th week is pretty relaxed by comparison to most of the other weeks, and you feel like you're winding down towards the summer vacation, which obviously is very nice. At the same time, it's very busy because an awful lot of things happen. So, on Monday I had my band's concert. We played a concert in Merton Chapel, including Saint-Saëns, some John Williams. It's a whole mix of stuff. We're a wind band, so we play a mix of more contemporary music and classical music. And that was great. It was good fun doing that, actually. Then on Tuesday I went to a friend's concert who is in a string quintet. Yes, a string quintet, who gave a performance at Corpus Christi College, and they did, amongst other things, Barber's, not just the Adagio for strings, but other movements that you don't normally hear, which was great. On Wednesday I had the college panto, which, like I mentioned before, I'm in, and we were rehearsing this for a couple of days beforehand, which was really good fun. People really seemed to enjoy it, not least because of custard piings. Well, on Thursday we had the bop, we had the last bop of the year, which is the Christmas theme bop, and loads of people came back from my year who've already graduated to enjoy that, but then we went out afterwards, which was really good fun. I hadn't sort of had a good night like that for a very long time, just because of work, so it was nice to really let your hair down. And then on Friday everything was wrapping up, and I attended a LAN party, or we attempted to do a LAN party playing Team Fortress 2 over at one of the accommodation blocks, except we couldn't get anything to work, so we just went to the bar. Friday was drink the bar dry night. So in St Peter's Bar, normally the prices are very low because we are the best bar in Oxford. So, you know, a pint's £1.60 or so, £2 for something more expensive like San Miguel. And on Friday night, drink the bar dry meant that everything was £1. So San Miguel was half price. Then halfway through the night, they realised, I think it was an hour before closing time, they wanted to get rid of even more of the stuff, so they set everything to 50p for a pint, which was fun. But it was it was a nice way to really round off the term. You know, you've finished all of your work, you can have a couple of days just to recover and sleep. And particularly for freshers, so this is, you know, for first year students, this is their first term in Oxford, they really gone all out and they are absolutely exhausted. So they've gone back home and are presumably still sleeping now, a couple of days after term's finished. But in addition to all that fun stuff, yeah, I had 2 classes to go to, one for theory, one for atmospheric physics, the standard load of lectures, and I also went to a colloquium at the physics department. Now, a colloquium is a guest speaker that's invited in to talk about some relevant topic. Now, the guy who was talking this time round was an emeritus professor at Oxford, a guy called Frank Close. And he was talking about the Higgs boson, and obviously that's very relevant at the moment because it's sort of the biggest bit of physics that's happened this year. And it was a very, very interesting talk, and it's attended by luminaries of the department. You know, you've got really top people, you can recognise all of your lecturers, you know, really quite famous people there actually, that probably aren't famous outside of Oxford, but to me they're famous. He was promoting his new book, The Infinity Puzzle, and the talk was absolutely fascinating, and I'm seriously considering just buying the book, because the story of the Higgs boson being postulated is not as straightforward as people seem to think it is, which is that, you know, Peter Higgs just kind of came up with it over one day out of his imagination. It's a lot more involved than that, it's a lot more convoluted than that, and there's a lot more Nobel Prizes that are involved in the story than I realised. So that's something to consider if you're thinking of buying a Christmas present for somebody who's interested in physics. That, I'm sure, is going to be a very, very good book. But now, term is finished, so I can breathe a sigh of relief, and everything is done. And when term is finished, even though I talk about having a great time in uni, it is still a relief when term finishes, because ultimately you are working extremely hard the entire time here, if you're doing it right. And so term finishing is a chance to catch up on sleep, go back home and see your friends, see your family, that kind of stuff. That said, at the moment I am still in St. Peter's because I'm helping out with interviews. So during the interview period, we've got about a dozen people from all different years, all different subjects, staying behind to help. So like I said before, showing people to their rooms, both where they're going to be staying for the night and also their interview rooms, staying in the JCR if anybody has any questions. Either about college life or the university, or what kind of interviews there's going to be, kind of thing. So we're the dog's bodies, really. We're the people who are here to help make the interview procedure as painless as possible. It's never going to be truly painless, but as painless as possible. And it's actually quite interesting talking to applicants, because I've realised there's a 5-year age gap now between me and people applying, which is scary. But also hearing people's questions and questions that you know the answer to so trivially because you asked them 5 years ago. So the kind of stuff that I've been covering on this channel. So hopefully people that have been watching these vlogs will be quite well informed going into their interviews. You know what? I'm just going to check that this camera's on. Score. As for the future of this vlog, there's been a bit of talk about that in the comment section. The reason I was hesitant to continue this next term, which is the logical thing to do, was simply a question of time. I was intending to expand on the college YouTube channel next term, and that was going to be a huge project. Now, because of work and because of sort of looking at my master's project and thinking, yeah, if I want to do this right, I need to dedicate my entire time to this. I'm not going to be doing that plan anymore. We're going to be adding new content to the college YouTube channel, but not quite in that way. That's something that's going to be a little bit of a surprise. But that has been informed by this vlogging process. But because I'm not doing that anymore, because I'm not doing that update to the college YouTube channel as I'd intended, which would have been a very time-intensive project, I feel that I can justify carrying on with these. Now, whether I do or not depends on whether my life remains interesting into next term, because it could just be that doing my master's project means that week after week I'm just sat in the lab doing the same thing over and over again, writing code. So if it would appear that my life is going to remain worthy of being vlogged about and were useful as an insight into Oxford, then I will continue doing this next term. Doing one vlog a week. Potentially one vlog every 2 weeks, because it's not a huge time commitment to do these vlogs, but it obviously is a bit of time taken out of my Sundays, in this case Monday. But having done this for a term, I realise now that there's so much that I've yet to show you guys. I haven't shown you the bottling, I haven't shown you the ashmolean, I haven't shown you so many aspects of college life that to me are going to be so trivial that I'm probably just going to throw in and without thinking about it, and hopefully will be an insight to you guys. Including the room tour, which I have been very awful about doing. I have promised in the past to do the room tour, and I haven't up till this point. I'm acting like a guilty child because I know I said I'd do it. So, let's do it. So I live in the Paradise Street accommodation block, which is one of the different annexes owned by the college but isn't on the main college site. And slightly unfortunately, I am in room number 13. On the way into the room, you've got my notice board on your right on top of my radiator and large piles of rubbish, which I really should move out. And along from that, you've got my desk, which has got large amounts of clutter at the moment. I do apologise. Believe me, I actually did do some cleaning up before I filmed this. So laptop, absolute student essential, different folders containing work, and then most of it's just crud. Then above that, you've got lots of storage on the shelves, including my reading for this term, or at least some of my reading. Between the two, you've also got my wall of stuff. I like to keep sort of mementos from certain things, and particularly film tickets, and that nice certificate that says I went to that conference in Germany. Moving along from my desk, you have my music stand. Bach is hard. And then the bed, which everybody can see in the background of my videos. Small associated pile of reading. Bedside table, Then moving along, you have my wardrobe, large amounts of storage above it, including an outrageous DVD collection, and then above that even more storage, which is occupied by my big suitcase. And then that's it for the most part of the room. Then you just have my bathroom, which is pretty much what you expect the bathroom to be like. You've got a sink, toilet, and very nice shower. And that's pretty much it. How are you doing? As for the interviews FAQ video, Q&A video, I will be filming that tomorrow. Now I realise that you guys are probably champing at the bit to get this kind of information because some of you will be already doing interviews. I would be doing this today, but with doing my university work and the interviewing work, I actually haven't had that much time today to vlog and edit. So that is something that I will be doing tomorrow, but I promise that it will be going up on my channel because I know that for some of you it is a very pressing need. And yeah, if you have any last minute questions, then please put them in the comment section of this video, though by about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, that will be the cut-off, and then I'll start filming the video. So I've taken in everybody's questions so far, and I will be answering them tomorrow, and that will be going up on my channel tomorrow evening. I probably should say something to sort of wrap up the whole project, really, because this is, it was designed to be an experiment, an access experiment, and I think that it has been successful, based on the feedback that you guys have been giving me, and I really, really do appreciate any and all feedback, whether that be good or bad, in the comment section or in messages or whatever. It appears to have been giving you guys an insight into what it's actually like to be an Oxford student, and that was what I set out to do, and that is why I'd like to continue next term. And if that's not the case, I'd like to hear why. And equally, if that is the case, I'd like to hear about it, so I'm not just talking to a camera rather than people on the internet. But it seems to have been a success, and I'm very glad that you guys have taken some understanding away and even some enjoyment away from these vlogs. It's been nice to sort of sum up my experiences actually every week and put things in perspective. It's been a nice tool for me as well. So I'd like to thank you guys for spending the last couple of weeks with me. And if you are having interviews now, I wish you the very, very best of luck, truly, because I've been in that position, I know what it's like. Wish you the very best of luck with your interviews, and have a great Christmas, whether you have interviews or not. And hopefully I will be seeing you in not very long. Well, my next term starts on the 13th of January, so you'll be seeing me again sometime around then. But like I say, until then, best of luck with interviews and have a Merry Christmas.